more and more people are moving from the United States to Costa Rica. It's a subject that we've covered in previous video segments, and I have a little bit of additional information. Welcome back. This is Sharma Roussel living in Brescia, sharing information about retiring in Costa Rica and moving to Costa Rica. So according to an attorney for one of my neighbors here in Costa Rica, an immigration attorney, there are 64,000 applications for temporary residency backlogged in the system, waiting for approval from the Costa Rican government. Now, another acquaintance of mine here in Costa Rica looked that up on a government website, and according to the government website, there are like 38,000 applications pending for temporary residency from people from the United States and Canada and other places around the world. But whether it's 38,000 or 64,000, that's a lot of pending applications for temporary residency, and it grows all the time, which is why we see a lot of construction going on around Costa Rica, and that's why it's taking sometimes 2 years, for a person's application for residency to be approved. Not too much unlike what it's probably like in the United States when somebody moves there and wants to have residency in the United States. There's a big backup, and it's moving slowly. So, it's really recommended that when you first come to Costa Rica, you rent for 1 or 2 years, which is what I'm doing. I'm nearing the end of my first year, and I'll be renting in my second year. But after that, I'll probably make a decision about whether or not to make Costa Rica my home as a temporary resident, and then eventually a permanent resident. That's not the same thing as citizenship. It's not citizenship. But at that point, I would probably either buy a home or a condominium, or build a home or a condominium. And there are lots of things to take into consideration. So definitely prices have been increasing in Costa Rica as more and more Americans and other people from around the world move to Costa Rica. So it's more affordable here in the Central Valley where I live than it is in beach towns, resort type areas. So, some of your choices are to buy or build a Tico style house in town or up on one of the ridges that has a little bit more of an elevation. Or you can build a new house or a new condominium, or buy one of the newer, more gringo style homes or condominiums or apartments. Now, I see a lot of websites and promotions for container homes and modular homes that builders are putting on lots of land. And that's something that I didn't think I would ever be interested in. But I went to visit one of the manufacturers of one of these modular homes earlier this week with one of my neighbors, another single lady who is retiring here in Costa Rica. And we went to this manufacturing facility for these modular homes. And I'll have to tell you that I was very impressed, because for a very affordable price, this manufacturer builds a very energy efficient modular home. There's a lot of insulation in the walls and in the roof, and he builds it in ways that might be a little bit different from how homes would be built in the United States because of the climate here in Costa Rica. Most of the time, there's quite a bit more humidity, and so mold can be a factor, mildew can be a factor. I have not experienced that at all but I've heard of people who have. So one of the things that he does is he builds these modular homes, which are really attractive. He builds them up on um, like pillars so that there's space between the ground and the bottom level of the house, like people used to do, a long, long time ago in the United States, especially like you found them on Biloxi along the coast or whatever, because it allows for some airflow underneath the house, which kind of helps with cooling. But it also, this builder said, helped reduce um, the likelihood of mold and mildew in your home. So he builds these uh, manufactured homes, these pods in different sizes, and they range from anywhere from $18,500 to $60,000, and you can go up from there. If you decide to add some additional items to your modular homes. So they start off with little studio size pods and go all the way up to 2-bedroom homes. So one of the things that I've considered, I haven't made a final decision about this yet, but it's something that you might be interested in if you're looking at your options for moving to Costa Rica. There is a lot that's available in a very dense jungle type area, not too far from me. And the price of the lot is very inexpensive for a half acre compared to other lots that I have run across. There were only a quarter of an acre. So I could get a half an acre in a dense jungle area, for an affordable price. And then with a minimum of clearing of the trees and the other plants that are already there, just with a minimum of clearing, I could put one of these modular homes on that piece of property. Now, the builder also takes care of water and electricity connectivity. This particular lot that I'm aware of, a home was previously on that lot. And so it already has some water and electricity connections, we think. But again, the builder goes out and does an assessment of the lot and makes a determination about how much clearing would be needed and whether or not the lot is feasible for one of these modular homes. Now, the thing that I have considered doing is I don't have to have the top of the line, modular home. I was considering building, not building, but putting 2 of these modular homes on this half acre lot. So one would be the home that I live in, and I would go for the luxury style of that model, and it would have a living area and a bedroom area and a bathroom area, of course, and a kitchen area, and but the other modular home that I would put on would just be a smaller 1-bedroom studio type home, and it would be for guests to use when they came to visit, or maybe it could be used for people who were coming to stay for a while, and it could be a source of income for me, which is allowed. If you move to Costa Rica, you can build something and it can be your source of income. You can't have a job in Costa Rica that takes a job away from a Costa Rican. If you're an American or a foreigner moving to Costa Rica, you have to bring money with you. You can't just show up and take a job, apply for a job and take one away from a Costa Rican. But you can own property and turn that into a source of income. So anyway, when I went to visit this manufacturer, I took a notebook, of course, and made some notes. And I just found it fascinating, that this builder has started this process. It takes only 6 to 8 weeks for one of these modular homes to be completed, and it's very rigid. And it's a certain width, and it goes on a certain trailer that goes down the road to be installed. Now, if you build a really large home, then you put 2 of those on 2 different trailers and take them down the road. But anyway, it's just an option that I have considered. And let's see, one of the advantages to this type of building is that each person who builds the modular home inside a warehouse, so the weather conditions never cause any delays at all. That's why they're able to build them in 6 to 8 weeks. But each one of the people working on building one of these modular homes is a specialist in that particular area. Whereas if you have something built in Costa Rica, most of the people involved in the building process are generalists. So the same person might put in the electrical system and build the cabinets and put in the countertops. Whereas in these modular homes, specialists take care of different parts of the construction. They have little AC units. You can have additional ones added if you want to. You can have them insured just like you would a traditional home. And they have quartz countertops if that's what you want. They have glass top electric stoves unless you want a gas stove. You can have that. You can also have a convection cooking setup if that's what you want. And I was very impressed with the energy efficient lighting, the ceiling fans with Bluetooth speakers, and the hinges on the cabinet doors, all of those things that are kind of important to me. Now, these are not luxury homes. These are very basic modular homes, but I thought they were nice for people who are retiring and thinking about retiring in Costa Rica or moving to Costa Rica. If you have additional information, please put it in the comment section. Pura vida, ciao.